Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The students are joining very
Good
late.
afternoon, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. In this last period, most of the students join very late. That's why we are able to start the class so late.
But today we will do pictorial representation of data.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So, beta, from tomorrow onwards, again,
Excuse
I am
me, sir.
requesting you all to please join the class at the right time. Okay.
Okay,
Sir, I joined at time.
I mean, some of you joined it.
Joined time.
Yeah. So please join it in the starting 3-4 minutes. Okay. Not more than that. Some of you joined, I know. Some of you were late. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Anji.
Sir, I didn't understand the concept of radii and diameter in math, the chapter circles. Can you tell me?
You want to ask radius and diameter.
Yes, sir, circle.
Okay. So you want to ask the relation. What is the relation between radius and diameter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See this. I have drawn a circle on the board. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is the center of the circle. Do you know what is the center of the circle? Center is the
Yes,
middle
sir.
point.
Yes,
sir. Center is
The middle part.
The point which
Sir,
is
center.
actually in the middle of the circle is known as center. So from the center, if I join anywhere in the circle, if I draw a line segment joining the center and any other point on the circle,
The radius.
this
Sir,
is
it
known,
is called
Radius.
this is known as
Sir,
radius.
it's radius.
Yeah, this is known as radius. And if I make another radius like this, एक और radius, suppose this is point A. If I make another radius like this, making this another straight line.
Diameter.
The diameter.
The diameter.
So radius plus another radius. So these are two radius. Two radii, I will call it now radii. The plural form of radius is radii. So radius and radius, two radius, if we combine, it becomes a diameter. So that means diameter is equal to, diameter is represented by d, small d. Diameter is equals to 2 radius.
Sir, I joined
You are.
Now I
You have not
understood.
done anything till now.
Sir, I joined
Because we have not done anything till now. I hope you join the class in the starting 3-4 minutes from tomorrow onwards. Okay, everyone. So diameter is
Thank
equal
you,
to
sir.
2r. Rupanshi, have you understood? Diameter क्या होता है?
Yes,
2r
sir.
के equal होता है. So this is diameter.
Yes, sir. Now
This whole
I
straight line is-
understood.
Okay, understood.
Sir,
Now,
if we want to find diameter, so we will use a formula 2 into radius, and if we want to find a radius, we will use the formula diameter upon 2.
yes, very good, correct. So if you want to find diameter, you will multiply 2 by radius. Radius multiplied by 2, you will get diameter. And if you want to find radius and diameter is given, you will divide diameter by 2. उल्टा कर देंगे. Diameter divided by 2, diameter का half. Half का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of half? Dividing by 2. Half का meaning यही होता है. Divide the number by 2. So if you want to find radius, you will divide diameter by 2. You will get the diameter. Okay. So this is these are the two relations that we use to find diameter and to find radius. Okay. So let's start with the topic pictorial representation of data. First of all, let me tell you what is data. Data क्या चीज होती है? किसी को मालूम है what is data?
The
क्या?
collection of all the information. Sir, all the
But data means collection of information.
Very good. Data is collection of information.
of information.
Let me explain this with the help of an example. Suppose if I note down the weights of all the students of your class. सारे बच्चों का मैंने क्या करा, अपने पास weight note कर लिया. For example, the weight of roll number 1 is 26 kgs. Weight of roll number 2 is 31 kgs. Weight of roll number 3 थोड़ा मोटा सा बच्चा है, उसका weight हो जाएगा suppose 69 kgs. मोटा हल खाता पीता बच्चा है वो. तो roll number 4, that roll number 4 is थोड़ा कम खाने वाला बच्चा, 15 kg weight है, मान लो ये तो बहुत कम हो गया. So these all these weights if I note down somewhere, सबके weight मैंने measure करे और अपने पास note कर लिए. So all this information, collection of info, मैंने क्या किया, collection of information किया. ये सब information मैंने collect कर ली. So this whole thing will be known as data. इसको क्या बुलाएंगे आप, data. मेरे पास क्या तैयार हो गया, I have prepared a data with me. Understood what is the meaning of data?
Yes, sir.
Any kind
Understood.
of
Yes,
data.
sir.
It could be any kind of information. जैसे weight अभी मैंने नोट करा, हो सकता है कि height नोट कर लूं मैं अपने पास सारे बच्चों की, और या फिर ऐसा भी हो सकता है you ask the suppose number of pen a student is having with him right now. Number of pen किस बच्चे के पास कितने कितने हैं, अगर मैं ऐसा नोट कर लेता हूँ, that is also a type of data. So it could be any kind of data. ठीक है. So this is so in short what we can say, that data is collection of information. Okay. Now we can represent, we can show data in many ways. One of the methods of representing data is pictograph. Another method of representing data is bar graph. Bar graph is also
Yes.
there. You have all done. I showed you some videos
sir.
for bar graphs also. I will show them again. Pictograph also you have done in your previous classes. I hope you all remember what is
Yes,
a
sir.
pictograph.
Sir, I had made bar graph
Yes, sir.
the project in on the match.
Then there is pie chart also. Pie chart is also another way of representing data. Pie chart के through भी represent कर सकते हैं, bar graph के through भी कर सकते हैं, और pictograph के through भी कर सकते हैं. Okay. So I will show you a video of pictograph, how to, what is a pictograph and how to draw a pictograph. So all of you watch this.
Today, let's learn about another way of data presentation called pictograph in this flower farm. Pictograph gives information with pictures or symbols. Look at the flower farm. Spinny collected 5 flowers. Tanya collected 7 flowers. And Suzanne collected 4 flowers from the farm. When we write the number of different objects in a given group, we call it data. The data given in the flower farm example can be represented as follows. This data can also be represented by drawing pictures. It is called a pictograph. We should be able to collect information from a pictograph by reading it. Every pictograph has 1. A title which tells us what the pictograph is about. 2. Pictures which tell us the given number of objects. 3. Labels which tell us what kind of data is shown. 4. The key which tells us the number each picture is equal to. Now, Let us see how we can read this pictograph of the flower farm example. The title, Flowers Collected, tells us the pictograph is about the number of flowers collected. The labels give us the information of who collected the flowers. The key tells us that each flower picture is equal to one flower. Hence, from the pictograph, we can say Simi collected 5 flowers. Tanya collected 7 flowers. And Suzanne collected 4 flowers. Joy visited a farm which was full of red, yellow, and green capsicums. Now, let us read this pictograph. Here, the title, Capsicums in the Farm, tells us the pictograph is about the number of capsicums in the farm. The labels give us the information on the colors of the capsicums. The key or scale tells us that each capsicum picture is equal to 2 capsicums. So let us count the number of capsicums in the farm. There are 7 red capsicums. That means 7 multiplied by 2 is equal to 14 red capsicums. Accordingly, we can find out the yellow and green capsicums. There are 12 yellow and 10 green capsicums on the farm. Hence, from the pictograph, we can say there are 14 red capsicums, 12 yellow capsicums, and 10 green capsicums on the farm. From the information so obtained from the pictograph, we can say how many capsicums are there in all, whether red capsicums are more or yellow, and so on. Hence, we can obtain a lot of information from a pictograph. Hope it was fun to learn about pictograph.
Okay, so was everything clear from the
Understood. Sir,
Yes, sir.
explain once more?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, Rishika, what are you saying?
Sir, can you explain once?
I will show you another video and then I will explain also. Okay, don't worry. So another video
Okay,
I will
thank
play. Watch this one also.
Pictorial representation of data. Here is the school. The principal wants to know how many children there are in each class. Let's see. Standard 1 has 70 children. Standard 2 has 60. Standard 3 has 50 children. Standard 4 has 70. And Standard 5 has 50 children. To look at all this data together, we construct what we call a table. This is what a table looks like. Here we have the name of the class, and here we have the number of students. Put this data here like this. Standard 1, 70 students. Standard 2, 60. Standard 3, 50. Standard 4, 70. And Standard 5, 50. When we show all the information we have in such a form, we call it a table. A table has rows columns. These vertical things are called columns, and the horizontal things are called rows. Each box which has anything written in it is called a cell. We can also show data in picture form. It is called pictorial representation. In this case, we are talking about students. So let's show the students by the picture of a child. We cannot show 50, 60 or 70 children on this table. So we create something called a legend or a key. The picture of one student will stand for 10 students each. So in standard 1, we have 70 students. So we will show 70 divided by 10, that is 7 pictures. In standard 2, we have 60 students. So 60 divided by 10, that is 6 pictures. In standard 3, 50 divided by 10, that is 5. In standard 4, again 70 divided by 10, that is 7. And in standard 5, 50 divided by 10, that is 5. Here, this table shows us the strength of each class with pictures. A pictorial representation makes it easy for us to take some decisions or answer questions about that data. To explore more content for conceptual clarity,
Yeah, everything clear now? All of you?
Sir, now I
Yes, sir.
understood.
Yes, sir, clear.
Any doubt, any questions if you want to ask from these videos?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Everything is clear.
Sir, we are
No,
also
sir.
going to learn about the bar graph.
Yes, we will learn bar graphs also. So, first question in your exercise, we are not starting the exercises right now. But the first question that I can see in your book, it is of a bar graph. Make a bar graph to show the following information regarding the number of children who played cricket on 5 days of the week. So this is a bar graph.
Yes,
And
sir.
question 2 again, you have to draw a bar graph. Then what is question 3? Make a graph to show Rahul's marks. Again a bar graph. The pictorial graph you have done earlier. This time I think you have to do only bar graphs. There are no pictorial graphs in your syllabus, I think.
Yes, sir, sir. All we have to make bar graph.
Yes, in all
Sir,
these.
but I'm not able to understand
Sir, it
how
is a pie chart also.
double bar graph means that it is written.
Also pie chart
third
is there.
We can make only one bar graph. So how can we make
Sir,
two
but in
things
third
bar
question,
graph?
it is, sir, but in third question, it is make a graph. So in that we can make
Sorry, in that?
one.
Sorry, in that? Sorry, what are you saying?
Sir, in third question of exercise, it is make a graph. So in that we can make any one side, I think.
In that one, you also have to make a bar graph, but that would be a double bar graph. Okay, because
So
there are
that only
two.
how we will make bar graph.
So that is known as a double bar graph. I will explain what is a double bar graph also. Don't worry.
Sir, I think I have seen double
Sir,
bar
excuse me,
graph
sir.
on the Google.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So, also my tuition teacher said that we can only make a bar graph on a bar paper, a graph paper.
Yes, you need graph papers on for making a bar graph. So I hope you all will arrange those graph papers. I was about to say this only.
Sir, this chapter we will do in bar graph notebook.
In a graph notebook, you all need to buy either you buy a graph notebook separately or you buy some graph papers and you stick them in your copies, that will be, I think, not a good decision. I think it is better to buy a new graph notebook and do the questions in that. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will buy it today or tomorrow.
It
Notebook.
will be of 5 or 10 rupees. So it's suggested to buy a graph notebook.
I like this chapter.
So let me show you a video for how to make a bar graph also, and then from tomorrow onwards we will start doing questions from the exercise. We have to not waste much time in it. And then question 5 says, look at the graph given of the number of students. You have to study this graph and answer the questions. Question 6, you have to study the pie chart and then answer the questions. Pie chart is also a way of representing data. Data is represented in many ways: pictorial graph, bar graphs, and pie charts. Many ways are there of representing data. Histogram is also there. Histogram you are going to study in your higher classes. Class 8th and 9th, you will study histograms also. And then there is frequency polygon also, which again you will study in your higher classes.
Sir, what histogram?
Histogram. Instagram होता है? Instagram तो सबने सुना होगा, चलाया भी होगा.
Yes, sir. But what is Pictograph?
Histogram.
No, sir, I don't use that app. I have only listened the name.
I have also only heard the name. I have also never used an Instagram. I don't have an account on Instagram.
Sir, I also.
No,
Sir, my brother and sister has an account on Instagram.
I don't have it. Okay, so there is something in maths also which is having a similar kind of name. It is histogram. Histogram is also a way of representing data, and then there is frequency polygon also, which is also another method. Karthik, क्या कर रहे हो?
Sir, can I leave the
Can I leave the meeting? Why? Why do you want to leave the meeting?
Sir, now please share the screen and show us the
Okay,
video
so I
that
will
shows
show
about
you some videos for bar graphs.
And sir, what about the pictograph? Means a pie chart.
Pictograph, so you have understood, I think.
No,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
pie chart.
So,
Pie
sir,
chart
I
also
was
I will explain, don't worry. I will
Okay, so
explain pie chart also. Okay.
pie chart and circle
Okay, sir.
chart are same. They, a circle and we have to arrange it
Axis.
more than less than
this question is a pie chart only.
Okay, so I'm sharing the video. Please, all of you, watch this.
Hi kids! Today we will learn what are data charts, their types, features, and how we use them. So let's start. Data chart is a type of diagram or graph where data is represented by various symbols such as bars and bar graphs. Bars with a length chart is a chart with rectangular bars, where the length of bars represents the value of something. And there is a scale along the length of bars which is used to measure the length of bars. The bars can be plotted horizontally or vertically. Bar graphs are used to compare the value.
So this is an important thing that to draw a bar graph, you can draw it horizontally as well as vertically. Okay. So when we are drawing in our graph papers on the graph notebook, when we draw the bar graph, when we से मेरा मतलब है you all. When you all will draw this bar graph, these bar graphs in your graph notebook, you will draw vertical bar graphs only, not the horizontal ones. We will draw vertical bar graphs. Okay. Although we can draw in both the manners, but we will prefer vertical ones because these are standard used everywhere. Okay.
Values of given items at any given point of time. Let's learn more about bar graphs using some examples. Here we have some data. A farmer sold different quantities of fruits in a particular month, and he recorded the sales like this. Now we will store this data in the form of a bar graph. First of all, determine what will be the title of our bar graph. Like it can be quantities of fruits sold. A bar graph has two axes, x-axis and y-axis. We have two types of data. One is the numeric data showing quantities of fruits in kgs, and the other is textual data, the name of fruit. The axis which shows numeric data is called scale. As on the y-axis, we are showing the numeric data, and our numeric data is in the range of 1 to 40. So make a scale showing numbers 1 to 40. Now, on x-axis, we will show the names of fruits, and we'll also relate them to their quantity. Like it's given that 35 kgs of apples were sold. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 35 and label it with apple. Now next fruit is orange. Quantity of oranges sold is 30 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 30 and label it with oranges. Now, next fruit is banana. Quantity of bananas sold is 10 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 10 and label it with banana. Now, the next fruit is kiwi. The quantity sold is 25 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 25 and label it with kiwi. Now next fruit is blueberry. Its quantity sold is 40 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 40 and label it with blueberry. Now next fruit is grapes, and the quantity sold is 5 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 5 and label it with grapes. And our bar graph is ready. This is the graph we just made. Now let's read it. Here the bars are drawn vertically on horizontal axes. This axis is known as horizontal axis or x-axis. The length rectangular bars represent the quantities of corresponding fruits sold in kg. The length of the bars is measured with the vertical scale along the vertical axis or y-axis. As the numerical data is given on the vertical axis. This axis is the vertical axis which shows 35 kg of apples sold. Quantity of oranges sold is 30 kg. Quantity of bananas sold is 10 kg. Blueberries are sold the most. Bananas are sold the least. So kids, data in the form of charts is much easier to read and represent. It is easier to compare data values. Now let's see another example. We are given with another data from a class of students. Favorite game of each student was asked and noted down like this. 5 students like hockey the most. that is the favorite game of 5 students is hockey. Favorite game of 1 student is tennis. Favorite forgotten students. One is touch ball. We can give a title to our chart. It can be choice of games in a class. We can give titles to each axis of graph. Let x-axis be number of students. Let y-axis be name of the favorite game. X-axis. Now, on y-axis will show the names of games. And we did. It's given that 3 students, right?
So now they were also giving an example of a horizontal bar graph, but we will not be doing horizontal bar graphs. So I have stopped the video here. We will be doing only vertical bar graphs. So all of you have understood how to draw a vertical bar graph. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Very easy to draw.
Yeah, very easy. I think it is even easier than pictorial graphs. Same level, almost the same.
Yes, sir.
I
Sir,
think
when we will start the exercises tomorrow?
we will start the exercises from tomorrow onwards, and I hope you all will sit with your graph papers. You all will have your graph notebooks
Okay,
with you tomorrow onwards, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Something like
Yes,
that.
sir. I would be having a graph notebook.
PowerPoint also.
Yes, we can make this in PowerPoint also. Yes, very good. You can do this on computer as
Yes,
well.
sir.
Have you learned this
Yes,
how to
sir.
make bar graphs on computer? Anyone told you?
No, sir. One day I was
Sir, I
creating
can
a
make
presentation. By mistake, I click on a chart. So it got the option of create.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
I
I
can
don't
do
know
it
how
on a
to create
mobile
the bar
also.
graph on computer.
Hmm.
I know that.
Sir, can I make that bar graph in computer?
No, beta, we all have to learn how to make a bar graph on graph paper, graph copy.
Yes, sir.
On
I
the,
have a graph paper also.
on the computer, we can do it afterwards, but not now. First, we have to learn how to do it on the graph copies. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is very important because it is a important part of your syllabus, how to draw bar graphs on graph papers. That is in your syllabus. Okay. It will help you in higher classes also.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. The time is over for today. We will do this work tomorrow. We will start making the bar graph tomorrow.
Okay, bye,
Okay,
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day to you.
Sir,